Okay, oh, you are doing it? Oh, very good. Okay, I will repeat it again. यथा ब्रह्म्यति अयो ब्राह्मण स्वयं कर्षा सन्निधौ तथा मे विद्यते चेतस चक्रपाणे यदृच्छया. Word for word. Yatha, just as. Brahmyati, moves. Ayha, iron. Brahmana, O Brahmanas. Swayam, itself. Akarsha, up a magnet. Sannidho, in the proximity. Tatha, similarly, may, my. Vidyate, it changed. Chetaha, consciousness. Chakra, oh, Chakrapane, of Lord Vishnu, who has a disc in his hand. Yadrachaya, simply by the will. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O Brahmanas, teachers, as iron attracted by a magnetic stone moves automatically toward the magnet, my consciousness, having been changed by his will, is attracted by Lord Vishnu, who carries a disc in his hand. Thus, I have no independence. See, he read the same verses in the morning. Okay, purport. Let us repeat this translation. O Brahmanas, teachers, as iron attracted by a magnetic stone moves automatically towards the magnet, my consciousness, having been changed by his will, is attracted by Lord Vishnu, who carries a disc in his hand. Thus, I have no independence. Okay, purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For iron to be attracted by magnet is natural. Similarly, for all living entities to be attracted towards Krishna is natural. And therefore, the Lord's real name is Krishna, meaning he who attracts everyone and everything. The typical example of such attraction are found in Vrindavan, where everything and everyone is attracted by Krishna. The elderly person like Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda Devi, the friends like Sridhama, Sudama, and this verse he read the same thing, I think. I should go to the next one. The other cohort boys, the gopis like Srimati Radharani and her associates, and even the birds, beasts, cows, and calves are attracted. The flowers and fruits in the garden are attracted. The waves of Yamuna are attracted, and the land, sky, trees, plants, animals, and all other living beings are attracted by Krishna. This is the natural situation of everything in Vrindavan. Just contrary to the affairs of Vrindavan is the material world, where no one is attracted by Krishna and everyone is attracted by Maya. This is the difference between the spiritual and material worlds. Hiranyakashipu, who was in the material world, was attracted by women and money, whereas Prahlad Maharaja, being in his natural position, was attracted by Krishna. In replying to Hiranyakashipu's question, about why Prahlada Maharaja had a deviant view. Prahlada said that his view was not deviant, or the natural position of everyone is to attracted by Krishna. Hiranyakashipu found this view deviant. Prahlada said, because of being unnaturally attracted by unnaturally unattracted by Krishna. Prahlada said, because of being unnaturally unattracted by Krishna, it's attracted, naturally unattracted by Krishna. Hiranyakashipu therefore needed purification. As soon as one is purified by material contamination, he is again attracted by Krishna. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat parvartena nirmalam. In the material world, everyone is contaminated by the dirt of sense gratification and is acting according to different designations. Sometimes as a human being, sometimes a beast, sometimes a demigod or tree, and so on. One must be cleansed of all these designations, then one will be naturally attracted to Krishna. The bhakti process purifies the living entity of all natural attractions. When one is purified, he is attracted by Krishna and begins to serve Krishna instead of serving Maya. This is his natural position. A devotee is attracted by Krishna, whereas a non devotee, being contaminated by the dirt of material enjoyment, is not. This is confirmed by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita 7:28. Yesham Yesham tva antagata papam jananana punya te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who was freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service. With the determination, one must be freed from all sinful dirt of material existence. Everyone in this material world is contaminated by material desire. Unless one is free from all material desire, anya vilachita sunya, one cannot be attacked by Krishna. This was done like the Prabhu that yes, that this was. Oh, there's the next one. I see. Oh, he said 14, so I was reading. Okay, you should be 15 actually. I should read. Oh my goodness. Sri Narada Uvacha. Okay, I'm reading the next verse because he has already spoken about this. So you should not be repeating the same thing or whatever. Okay. Sri Narada Uvacha. Sri Narada Uvacha. Etavad Brahmana Yoktava. Ekavad Brahmanaya Oktava. Virarama Mahamati. Tam Sannibartyasya Kupitaha Sudino Rajasevakaha. Sri Narada Uvacha. Etavad Brahmanya Yoktava. Veera Rama Mahamati. Tam Sannibartasya Kupitaha. Sudino Rajasevakaha. Sri Narada Uvacha. Etavad Brahmanyayot yoktva.
Etava brahmanya.
I can't break that, I think. Let me see in the break. What is that actually word? Anyway, I don't get it there. Veera Rama Mahamatihi
Veera Rama Mahamatihi.
Tam Sannibartasya Kupitaha
Tam Sannibartasya Kupita.
Sudino Raja Sevakaha.
Sudino Raja Sevaka.
Okay, again. Sri Narada Vacha
Sri Narada Uvacha.
Etavad Brahmanyo Yoktava
Ekata Brahmanya Uktada.
Veera Rama Mahamatihi
Veera Rama Mahamatihi.
Tam Sannibartasya Kupitaha
Tam Sannibartasya Kupitaha.
Sudino Raja Sevakaha.
Sudino Raja Sevakaha.
Okay.
Sri Narada Uvacha.
Sri Narada Vacha
Etavad Brahmana Yoktava.
Ekavad Brahmana Yoktava
Veera Rama Mahamatihi.
Veera Rama Mahamatihi
Tam Sannibharsya Kupita.
Tan Sannibartya Kupitaha
Sudino Raja Sevakaha.
Sudino Raja Sevakaha. You can read from here. Very good. Here I said this. Okay, Prabhu, you want to read? No. Okay. Word for word. Okay. Sri Narada Vacha.
Sri Narada Uvacha.
Narada Muni said,
Narada said,
Etavat,
Etavad,
this much.
this much,
Brahmanaya
Brahmanya,
unto the Brahmanas,
unto the Brahmanas,
the sons of Sukracharya,
sons of Shukracharya,
Uktva, speaking,
speaking,
Veera Rama
Veera Rama,
became silent.
became silent.
Mahamatihi,
Mahamatihi,
Prahlad Maharaja,
Mahamatihi,
who presented, no, who possessed
who possessed
great intelligence.
great
Tham, him, Prahlad Maharaja. Sannibartasya,
Sannibartasya,
chastising,
chastising,
very harshly. Kupitaha,
Kupitaha,
being angry.
being angry,
Sudinaha,
Sudinaha,
poor in thought, or very much aggrieved.
very much aggrieved.
Raja Sevakaha,
Rajasevakaha,
the servant of king, the
servant of king.
Hiranyakashipu. Okay, translation. The great saint Narada Muni continued.
Continue.
The great soul Prahlada,
The great soul
Prahlad Maharaja,
Prahlad Maharaja
became
became
silent
silent
after saying this
after saying this
to his teachers,
to his teacher,
Sanda and Amarka,
and Amarka,
the seminal sons
the seminal sons
of Sukracharya.
of Shukracharya.
These so-called
So-called
Brahmanas then became angry
became angry
at him
at him
because
because
they were servants
they were servants
of Hiranyakashipu.
of Hiranyakashipu.
They were very sorry
They were very sorry
and so chastised
that God,
Prahlad Maharaja.
Prahlad Maharaja,
They spoke as follows.
spoke as follows.
I see. Okay. As follows in next verse. I think.
It was Rakshasa or Rama.
Huh?
It was Rakshasa.
Hiranyakashipu?
Chanda and Amarka.
No, Sanda and Amarka, the seminal sons of Sukracharya.
Next.
Next, these so-called Brahmanas then became very angry at him, at Prahlad. They became angry at Prahlada because they were servants of Hiranyakashipu. They were very sorry, and to chastise Prahlada Maharaja, they spoke as follows.
Brahmana. Okay.
Yeah, the Brahmanas. They are Brahmanas, actually. They are not Rakshasas. They are Brahmanas. Sukracharya's sons. They can't be Rakshasas. Sukracharya's sons can't be Rakshasas. Don't degrade Sukracharya's.
But they are
Great
not
son.
Asura.
Huh?
They are not like Asuric.
No. Sukracharya is not Ashuri.
No.
He is a Brahman, great saint.
That's correct, but they are like Guru of demigods. Guru of Data.
Deityas, but that doesn't mean that they are Asuras. No, Shukracharya is not an Asura. He is a star. Great personality. Bhargava.
No, his sons.
Sons also, his sons, right? He can't be, that degraded. Degraded because they are in service of Hiranyakashipu. Okay, purport.
By birth they are not degraded.
Huh?
By birth they are not degraded, but because they are engaged in the Danava service, that's why.
Yeah, Danava service is not that Asuric service. They are teaching the Daitya's sons. They have to do that because they're master, right? It is not that they are that degraded, but that knowledge is, it is not their Asuric. They are not Asuric. They are Brahmanas, right? But they don't have the Brahmanic qualities. That's the problem with them. And they are serving the Asuras. That's why Asuric qualities comes automatically. When, Sarva Asura, then, yeah, Asura is your master, then you have to follow the master, right? Definitely his influence is there on you. Otherwise, if they would have been serving the demigod, they would have been the great souls. Yeah. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word Shukra means semen. The sons of Shukracharya were Brahmanas by birthright. But an actual Brahmana is one who possesses the Brahmanical qualities. The Brahmanas, Sanda and Amarka, being seminal sons of Shukracharya, did not actually possess real Brahmanical qualifications, for they engaged as servants of Hiranyakashipu. An actual Brahmana is very much satisfied to see everyone, not to speak up, is disciple, become a devotee of Lord Krishna. Such Brahmanas are meant to satisfy the Supreme Master. A Brahmana is strictly prohibited from becoming a servant of anyone else, for that is the business of dogs and Shudras. A dog must satisfy his master, but Brahmana does not have to satisfy anyone. He is simply meant to satisfy Krishna. Anukulyena Krishnanushīlanam. That is the real qualification of Brahmana. Because Sanda and Amarka were seminal Brahmanas and had become servants of such a master as Hiranyakashipu. They unnecessarily wanted to chastise Prahlad Maharaja. Okay. Om Ajnana Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmittamena Tasme Shuruguruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dati Swapadhantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindhavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindhavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindhavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यः च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यः च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यः च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Okay, we are in this Prahlad Maharaja episode in the 7th canto. And here in the verse of, especially this verse is meant for qualification of the Brahmanas. So here, the what actually Narada Muni is, oh, thank you, Prabhu. Narada Muni is speaking to Maharaj Yudhishthira regarding the qualification of, the qualities of the great devotee. The greatest devotee, not only great devotee, is the greatest devotee in the universe actually. He is not an ordinary devotee. He is greater than the greatest, I could say. And next to Dhruva, such a great devotee. He was replying to his teachers, Sanda and Amar, with the question of, the question of their master, Prahlad Maharaj's father, Hiranyakashipu, who is polluting his sons by preaching all this Krishna consciousness thing, all bhakti and the greatness of Vishnu and all those things. So when they are inquiring Prahlad, so Prahlad has replied, actually what it has come, the previous verse, which describes that, attracting the iron is being attracted by magnet. So the attraction to Lord Krishna, the natural attraction to Lord Krishna. So there are two differences: natural attraction to Krishna and unnatural attraction to Maya. The mainly in that particular verse, the natural attraction to Krishna is the spiritual thing. Because in any living entity, there are two aspects. One is spiritual aspect, one is material aspect. Material aspect is covered with the spiritual aspect. So innerly, so the living entity is actually naturally attracted to Krishna because it's part of Krishna. But outwardly, it is covered by Maya. So Maya is naturally attracted to Maya. So Maya's business is to allure the living entity and keep in his clutches. Keep it in her services. So natural thing for the living entities to be remain with Krishna service. Either we remain in material service, Maya service, or Krishna service. Maya is servant of Krishna only. His Maya is not different. Is Krishna's energy only. But his business is to attract the living entity towards her activities, which is a sense gratification, to remain in this material world. And whereas Krishna's business is attract him out of this Maya's clutches and keep in his service. So that's the thing. So Prahlad Maharaj understands all those things and he explains that to Sanda and Amarka, his teachers. So because his teachers doesn't know this. because they are not learned about Vishnu Bhakti, because they are serving a non-devotee master. Let us say he is a non-devotee. Of course, Hiranyakashipu is not an ordinary soul, but he is non-devotee. He is not a devotee of Krishna. But neither he is not an ordinary soul. He is not a murkha or third grade man or anything. He is very learned and he advanced. But he is a non-devotee of Krishna. He doesn't get attracted to Krishna. Because his business is that. He is hateful of Krishna. So that's why and since he is hateful of Krishna or Vishnu, so his teaching has to be hating Krishna. So attracted by Maya. So this Sanda and America, since they are servant of him, so they have to do what he wants. So if at all we are in a particular job, we have to do what our boss says or what our company needs and whatever our service is supposed to be. So that service we do have to do. So Sanda and America were doing that business, that service. That's why they got influenced by Hiranyakashipu's qualities because they have to serve him. So they are influenced by that qualities and they want to teach Prahlad. But whereas Prahlad is attracted to Krishna because he is purified soul. When you are purified, that time only you can worship Krishna and do service to Krishna, unless you get purified. But Prahlad is completely purified from his womb of his mother only. When he has come out, because when he was in the womb, Narad Muni was preaching to his mother. And Prahlada was hearing it and he understood. He understood the entire process. How the living entity get into the clutches of Maya and involved in Maya and remains in the cycle of birth and death. So, this because Sanda and America, and here the main question what we need to learn is, although this Sanda and America, they are sons of Shukracharya. They are, Shukracharya is a great Brahmana. He is not any ordinary soul. We should not think Shukracharya is a demon or anything. That will be a great offense. He is a great soul, and his sons also, they are okay, they are great. But since they are involved in the service of Hiranyakashipu, Shukracharya also, since he is involved in the service of Daityas, because he is a guru for the Daityas, because Shukracharya said Bali Maharaja, when Vamana Dev came to asking for 3 steps of land, Shukracharya prohibited him. Don't do that. Don't do. Because he was serving the Daityas. Otherwise, Shukracharya knew he is Vishnu. And Vishnu, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shukracharya knew it. It is not that Shukracharya is not Amen. Shukracharya was doing his duty to tell his disciple not to get into because his disciple get lost. Because Shukracharya was in material mentality. He was a material gain and loss. One that he was thinking. He was not thinking spiritually because he was influenced by serving the Daityas, the Hiranyakashipu or in all the Daitya community, demons, because he was a guru of demons. Since he was serving guru of demons, he was influenced by that. That's why, although he knew Vamana Dev is Vishnu himself, Krishna himself came to take the land from him or whatever authority the Bali Maharaj had to take that, he came. He knew it. But he forgot that at the time being, and he prohibited him not to do that. But Bali Maharaja, being the grandson of Prahlada, the great devotee, because that's again seminal thing. The seminal thing is that he is a great grandson of Prahlada Maharaja. He disobeyed his guru and did the right thing, because it's not a wrong thing what he did. He did the right thing. Although that particular situation, what did, it is said, he disobeyed the guru. He disobeyed the guru, but the purpose is higher. You disobey the guru for something which is not correct. Which is, he disobeyed the guru for something which is not correct. It's natural, as the living entity is natural affection service to Krishna. the Krishna service, if your guru is prohibiting don't do service to Krishna, then you could disobey. If guru says not to disobey, if you not to do service to Krishna, you can disobey. But when you have to do service and you do something else, at that time, when Guru chastises, you have to follow the Guru. Otherwise, you will get the reaction. So here, Bali Maharaj didn't get the reaction. So similarly here, Brahmanas, the Brahmana means Shukracharya is a great Brahmana. His sons supposed to be also Brahmanas, but thing is that it is not by seminal. The qualities doesn't come seminal. It is okay. Okay, since it is seminal, they are seminal sons of Shukracharya. They don't have the qualities of Brahmana. They didn't inherit the qualities of Brahmana. Qualities of Brahmana or any quality has to be developed by the living entity, not it is automatically comes by birth. Although it's naturally here, what happens in a material world, wherever whatever the father does, the son also follows that. Any profession father follows, son follows that same profession. If the father is a doctor, then son also become doctor because father encourages him to go to medical college, and son becomes a doctor. And if it is a Brahmana, his Brahmana son also become a priest. Brahmanas usually priest, and his son also becomes a priest. But there are incidences they are not, because even a doctor's son doesn't have to become doctor. He may become an accountant. Can become an attorney. So because it's whatever naturally it is attracted, whatever group he is in, accordingly it goes. So here, actually, this Brahmanical qualification, Prabhupada talks about Brahmanic qualification. The Sanda and Amarka didn't have Brahmanical qualifications. And they were actually supposed to encourage Prahlad and understand him. But instead of understanding Prahlad, what he was talking, they didn't understand that. They actually got angry on Prahlad because he was not following their instructions. He is not following their instruction. That's perfectly okay, because here that he is supposed to be serving Krishna only, because living entities. Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadasa, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. So Jivera Swarupa means living entities, business is serving Krishna. So Prahlad Maharaj was doing the same thing. He was serving Vishnu, he was serving Krishna. And Sanda and Amarka are opposing that. That's why they don't have Brahmanical qualifications. Actually, how Brahmanical qualification developed is by becoming purifying and doing tapasya and purifying oneself, thinking about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, always doing service to Krishna. When we do service to Krishna, chant his name and think about all the time, and we get purified. Then we become qualified to do service to Krishna. Otherwise, we are not qualified. We are unqualified because we are attracted to Maya. So Maya is actually keeping us, encouraging us to do sense enjoyment, because you have senses. Everybody, we have all the senses which we could enjoy, like, eating, mating, and all those things are sense enjoyments. It is for the Mayas, attracted by Maya, those sense things. And then when we engage in that, we get degraded, and we remain in the clutches of Maya. Actually, we should get out of that. To get out of that, the process is service to Krishna, chanting his name, and trying to do service to others also, and preach. Here, actually, especially in our Krishna conscious movement, we have to get purified ourselves. We have to become Brahmana ourselves, and then we should be able to preach others and get them attracted to this. So Krishna is very satisfied, and he is very much pleased with the devotees who are actually get themselves purified and try to preach others and get them to Krishna's service. So Krishna is very much purified. So Brahmanical qualities comes by our process. We have to try for that. We have to do the process. Do the process means we have to understand what are the Brahmanical qualifications? Like, Brahmana has to be very compassionate. He has to be clear. He has to completely oriented to Krishna. Do service to Krishna all the time and chant his names. So that's the Brahmanical qualification. So unless if you develop that, we will not be able to attract Krishna. In our previous verse, we understood that to get attracted to Krishna, we have to get completely purified. Now, to understand who is a Brahmana, because naturally it is not that birthright to become a Brahmana. It is a qualities which we need to develop to become a Brahmana. So how we understand who is Brahmana? Yes, Shudra can also be Brahmana. It's not that only those who are born in a Brahmanical family becomes Brahmana. Any Shudras, because now in our Krishna conscious movement, ISKCON, or Prabhupada's movement, we are not, I am not, at least I am not born in a Brahmanical family. I am born in a Shudra family. So, but I am becoming Brahmana now by the process, whatever the process is there to become a Brahmana. Like Rupa Goswami says that the Diksha Vidhanena, by getting the Diksha and with the process following, we become Brahmana. Even anyone can become Brahmana. Like the, what is that? Uh, when iron, when what is it called? Yeah, Chintamani stone. When it touched to with iron piece, iron becomes of gold. Like that, when a preacher, when a Brahmana or a advanced soul, a Acharya, he blesses a particular devotee and gives him the mantra, and he becomes a Brahmana. Like that. So then, that's the process. So anyone, even a Mlecha, because now we can see here in ISKCON, we can see Mlechas, like in Chandalas, Mlechas, Yavanas, even Muslims also, are in our Krishna conscious movement. They are also Brahmanas. There are so many, Muslim devotees also were there, and they become Krishna conscious, and they got initiation, the Brahmanical initiation. They are also become Brahmana. So anyone can become Brahmana. So Brahmana's qualification to be understood not by what he does, but what his qualities are accordingly. So how we understand? Because I read a story about how we find out who is a Brahmana. The story is like this. I am trying to remember. In a village, there was a Brahmana priest. And that priest was actually, he didn't have much of good Brahmanic qualification, but he was born in a Brahmana family. So he was conducting all yajnas and all those things for the villagers, village people. Yajnas he was doing pujas and all those things. He was extracting, money from them, for all those pujas and yajnas, and you have to get the money. He was accumulating wealth and he's enjoying his life nicely. And in the same village, there was a cobbler, and he was a pure man, and he was doing his cobbling thing, and he was, following a very sincere life. So once it had happened in Vaikuntha Loka, Narada Muni was with the Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu, when they were discussing, they are talking about the Brahmanical qualification and who is a Brahmana. Narada Muni was asking Lord Vishnu, who is a Brahmana? What is the Brahmanical qualification? So at that time, they thought of this village, and here the two entities, two living entities were there. One was a Brahmana priest, one was a cobbler. So the Lord Vishnu has asked to answer Narada Muni's question. See, he said you should go there and ask tell them one question. The question was, so they may ask you. So what was, when you went to Vaikuntha and saw Lord Vishnu, what Lord Vishnu was doing? They may ask you. When these two entities, when you go to the Martyaloka, Earth planet, where this particular village, when you talk to these two entities, two living entities, and when you are discussing with about me, they may ask you, what Lord Vishnu was doing. So at that time, you say he was needling the elephant in he was leading the in eye of a needle, putting the elephant in eye of a needle. So accordingly, Narada Muni came to the Earth planet and visited that village. And what was he went to first to this Brahmana's house, Brahmana, where he was doing all the puja and everything. He was a fat Brahmana. It said he was a fat Brahmana. And when he visited, Narada Muni has come, and the Brahmana naturally, he is very quite natural. And he invited Brahmana, said, give nice asana, and he said, you are a great soul and everything, and nice asana and nice food stuff and all those things. Then they started discussing about Lord Vishnu and all those things. They discussed. And finally, the topic came to ask what Lord Vishnu was doing when Narada met to Lord Vishnu. So the as advised by Lord Vishnu, Narada Muni said, yes, he was putting the elephant in a eye of a needle. At that time, the Brahmana started laughing. Oh, because he couldn't imagine Lord Vishnu can do that, put an elephant in the needle of eye. He couldn't believe that because he doesn't have that qualification, that intelligence, because Lord can do anything. So Lord, for Lord to do that, it's not a difficult thing. To put an elephant in the eye of a needle, for Lord, it's not a difficult thing. Lord has created this entire universe, everything. And what's the difficulty for him putting an elephant in the needle? So that's not a difficult. He can expand the needle, put the elephant, or contract the elephant, and it can go into the needle and then become. So Lord can do all those things. So he didn't understand that. He was laughing. Oh, you are. So then then he understood. Of course, this Brahmana is not advanced. He is not a real Brahmana. Narada Muni. Then he went to the cobbler. Cobbler was very, and of course he didn't welcome Narada like what Brahmana did. But he may be he is a roadside cobbler, and he has a small hut or anything. There he went, and there also same cobbler also discussed the same thing. They were to Lord Vishnu, and he asked. Then also when their discussion, the situation came also what Lord was doing when you visited the Vaikuntha Loka. This same question he said, okay, Lord was putting the elephant in eye of a needle. So he becomes so happy. Oh yeah, Lord can do all those things. Yes, definitely. So he was so happy, and so that's the so since Lord Vishnu has instructed Narada, see whose reaction, how it comes. See here, the Brahmana's reaction was different. He didn't believe it. Whereas the cobbler believed it. It means he has all the Brahmanical qualifications. So that's how we understand Brahmanical qualification. We have to become Brahmana. So becoming a Brahmana is not that, just taking an initiation and becoming a Brahmana. It is not that. So taking an initiation, like, for me to take Brahman initiation, then I said, my Guru Maharaj, I want to do deity service here in Boston, and I want to take Brahmanical, I want to take a Brahmanical initiation. He said, okay, you want to do Brahmanically. Then he gave me a list of questions to answer. What the qualification of Brahmana? One big list he gave me. And see these questions and study that and answer that. Once you answer that, then I will give initiation. So it is a long questions about Brahmanical qualification. Then I have to, learn all those qualifications, understand it. Then I answered all those questions, what he gave me. So then I had answered it correctly. Then gave him the paper, all these answers. And I suppose that answer should be correct. Then he said, okay, I'm going to give initiation. Then when the next Ratha Yatra came, I went to New York, and in the New York Ratha Yatra, he gave me Gayatri Mantra in one of the, in front of Jagannath only. So he gave me the Gayatri Mantra. That's how, we have to learn to become a Brahmana. And only when you get initiated, then only we can do deity service. Otherwise, we can't enter. Before that, I was not entering the altar at all. Of course, I was doing the services, but I was not entering the altar. I was not going the altar. I was changing the water and do all those things, services I was doing, but I was not able to enter the altar. For that purpose, I have to take this initiation. And this is the process. You have to learn the qualification of a Brahmana to become a Brahmana, and that's the answer. And then we have to take mantra from the Guru. Guru gives the mantra through the ear. That's the Gayatri mantra. Of course, all the disciples get the same mantra, but it's given by their Guru. So you take that mantra, then you become Brahmana and do all those services. Of course, then you have to keep up that whatever Brahmanical qualification, you have to keep up. Not that I got the initiation of, I do the nonsense. I can't do that. So I have to keep it up and I would get purified. The more and more we serve with the Lord in the altar as well as outside the altar also, when we always in the memory of Lord Krishna, then we automatically get purified. Then we have our qualification. Otherwise, if at all we mingle with non-devotees, and then we are, subject to that's possibility, we will be little slack, and in our Brahmanical qualifications or Brahmanical duties. That's why we should try to not to mingle with non-devotees and do something which is not devotional. So to become a good Brahmana, we have to follow the process and become a good Brahmana. Like we should not become, here the lesson from this particular verse, we should not become a Brahmana like Sanda and Amarka, but instead of, we have to become like Prahlada. Prahlada is also a Brahmana. Although he was born in a Daitya family, he is more than a Brahmana. Although he was a Brahmana in a Daitya family, in the demon's family, he was not supposed to be a Brahmana. He is a Kshatriya, or he is just demonic in the Kshatriya qualification, because he administrator, Kshatriya qualification, but he is a Brahmana. He is more than a Brahmana. He is more than a Brahmana. So we also need to keep up like this, and we have to learn from here. We should not become a Brahmana like Sanda and Amarka. We have to be purified like Prahlad Maharaj and do devotional service to Krishna. Then only we should be called Brahmana. Otherwise, we are not Brahmana at all. Because by birth, we are not Brahmana. For especially me, I am not a Brahmana by birth. But because of this process of Prabhupada's mercy, and Prabhupada had created a process where you can chant Krishna's name and you become purified and take initiation, then you become Brahmana. I am such a Brahmana. I am not a by birth Brahmana, but I don't know whether I have all the qualities of a Brahmana with me. I don't know. So, but I am trying to be a Brahmana. Trying to be Brahmana and follow the Brahmanical qualification and get attracted to Krishna. So that's the business. That's the business of the living entity also. Living entity should not be remaining in this material world in the clutches of Maya and coming back again and again and again, remaining this. Our business has to be become a pure Brahmana and do service to the Lord and get out of this cycle of birth and death and go to the spiritual world. That's our goal. It's always has to be, any living entity's goal has to be this: to get out of this cycle of birth and death, then go to the Krishna Loka, Golaka Vrindavan, wherever Krishna keeps. If Krishna wherever takes us, maybe he can take anywhere. But our goal is to get up the cycle of birth and death in this human form of body. In the human body only we will be able to do, not in any other body. Since now we have this human body, we don't know again when we get the human body. We don't know. Because we can't say in next birth also I will get a human body. It's not, it's for Krishna. So that's why, since we have the human body now, we should be able to get out of this cycle of birth and death and go back to Godhead and to serve Krishna in Golaka Vrindavana or wherever Krishna takes us. So that should be our goal. So I'll stop here, and if you have any questions, let me know. Our online devotees can put in the comments any questions. If I see that comment, then I may answer it. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. Huh? I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Srila Prahlad Maharaj ki jai.
Hare
Sri
Krishna.
Sri Radha Gopilab ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Prabhu, thank you so much. Nice class, Prabhu.
Hari bol. Thank you, bro.
Especially
Any comments or?
that you explained that, no, that Brahmana and cobbler pastime,
Yeah.
like how actually the cobbler, he may be cobbler, but because he had full faith in the Supreme Lord.
Correct. Yes.
And also you told that that may be required for initiation and this thing.
Correct.
But the goal of Brahmana is to become attached to seva, service to the Lord.
Correct. Exactly.
That is the real thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So in our society also we are given Brahman initiation and all, but we have to remember that our goal is to become attached to service of the Lord and go back to Godhead. That goal is very clear.
Correct.
So that way we are not having any discrimination based on birth or anything. But basically we are given the facility of Brahminical initiation to become more and more attached to the seva of the Lord.
Correct. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your comments. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you, Prabhu. You know how to stop this?
Only one question can I ask? Just one question, if you don't mind.
What? Yeah, sure. Yes,
Prabhu,
tell me.
Like when we serve the deities, what do you think is the main factor by which we can develop more attachment to the Lord? Like we serve, but what we should take care that we actually develop gradually more and more affection and love for the Lord? What are the important factors to be taken care while serving the deities?
Service attitude, thinking of Krishna. That's a natural attraction. When we chant Krishna's name, try to remember their pastimes. Automatically, you get attracted more and more if you get attached. So we have to, first of all, we have to get detached from the material attractions. First of all, material attraction, whatever we have, like seeing beautiful things, and by our eyes, because all our senses has particular action, right? The touch, the taste, and the tongue, the hearing, and the seeing, everything. All these senses have attractions for something. Those attractions, instead of going to Maya, if you convert it to Krishna, or this spiritual things, like we always listen to this Bhagavatam and hearing about chanting, kirtan, and when you do, so automatically it naturally get attracted with that. And if you are, with the taste, like, Krishna Prasada, of course, not very opulent Krishna Prasada, then you get attracted with eating that only. It's not, simply whatever moderate thing. We should do that instead of, my things, outside or anything. If we do that, it's naturally it comes, our attraction comes to Krishna. The more and more service we get attached. When we do deity service, we get attached to the deity, right? So, like, if we, this is very natural. Suppose if we do, the service to our parents, we get attracted to the parents when we are in younger times also. Even when we grow up, if we, do service to parents and follow them, we get attracted to them. The more we follow, we get attracted. So we have to try to follow, the deities, Krishna's pastimes, and the chanting about him, chanting his name. So then we are all already doing. You are also doing that. I see. You are always chanting, and you are very nice. You are always talking about Krishna. So you are in that process. So it's for others. Those who are not in that process. I would definitely advise you have to more and more, do these spiritual things. The towers, which Krishna, we can get Krishna attracted on us. Like, do we do very sincere service? So then Krishna get attracted and gives us his mercy. It is Krishna's mercy only. Krishna and Radharani's mercy. Then we get attracted to them. So we do service to them. So that's what, it's my experience is like that. So more and more service to them, think about them. So, we get attached to their service.
Thank
Okay,
you, Prabhu.
Prabhu?
Prabhu,
Does that
also
make sense?
I observed that when you chant prayers,
Yeah.
you do it very meditative and heartfully. Many times I chant, Om Jnanate Mirandasya Jnanandasya, khada I do sometimes. So today I was thinking that how you are, every time I see, not like today, every time I see that you do it like putting, though it's the same thing, same mantra. So many years must have chanted like Om Jnanate Mirandasya, but you do it like very nicely. So is it,
Yeah,
Prabhu,
that's
like
Krishna's mercy.
over the years you got it like this, Prabhu, or like from beginning only you were like always trying to be very
No, because
heartfully?
if I have to give the class, I have to get the energy because I don't have intelligence, right? So those prayers to give me energy or the knowledge to talk something about them. So that's why the prayers. So if they give the mercy, I can talk. Otherwise, I can't talk, right? So that's the prayers, of course. I don't have any special qualification or anything. I'm just an ordinary. As I said, I'm not a Brahmana. Oh, just I'm doing Brahmanical service because of my Guru's mercy. He gave me initiation and Brahmanical initiation. That's why. Otherwise, I don't have any Brahmanical qualification. Qualities also. And my qualities are not Brahmanical. I'm like I'm a materialistic or I'm I'm more than a mlecha. But trying to be. I'm trying to be Brahmana, but it's their mercy only. I won't say I will, I'm a great Brahmana or anything. It's Krishna's mercy. So I'm able to do some service to him. So I do service in the altar. So that's their mercy. So I have to very, grateful to them. So they are giving opportunity to do their service. Okay.
You have such a nice attitude, boy. You're actually teaching by your example. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
They're wonderful, Vaishnava. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So what I do to do this, close this, the recording.
So, yeah, Prabhu, I'll send one devotee. He will close it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your guidance, Prabhu, for your cooperation. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for wonderful class.
Nice class, Prabhuji. All of us were hearing.
Oh, you are hearing? I see. Oh, you guys are hearing. I see. Wow, very good. Thank you. Then no, I was thinking nobody is